Hello and welcome to our Tuesday night live stream. Today is February the 21st, Tuesday. As always, Tuesday night live stream, so it's on Tuesdays.
Just making fun. Tuesday.
So, February the 21st in the year 2023, it is 61 degrees outside, 74 degrees outside.
What does it feel like to know it matters to others how you're doing? What's weighing on your mind? That you're happy
Technology.
that your body's healthy.
All right, and let me get back to what I was doing. So, what was I saying? 61 degrees outside, partly cloudy here in the United States. There is a part of the region north of us that's getting ready for humongous winter blizzards. Thank goodness that's not us. I am David with Filipino American Couple, and this is my co host, young lady. Introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Loriely. I'm the wife and married to David.
That is correct. Very good job answering that. You could have just said, "Hi, my name's Lorelai. My name's Lorelai." What part of the Philippines are you from?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, she doesn't know what part of the Philippines she's from. So, let's see. Lost track of what I was doing because you're here. You're distracting. I'm usually very proficient.
We will start later when there's a few people.
That's right.
We're talking about dogs, but we're not gonna start it first.
Tonight, we're going to cover a bunch of different little things, but one of our big topics is we're going to go over taking pets to and from the United States to the Philippines and back and forth, however you want to say it. So that's what we're going to do here in a little bit. Lorelei is the expert in this matter, so feel free to ask questions. We will try to answer them and give you our personal experience and tell you what we really think about it all. So let's bring up the Yank, who's getting ready to have a blizzard.
What's up, yackers?
Yackers.
Where's Tony?
Where's Tony?
Right here where I belong.
Well, they're late.
Are you ready for a blizzard?
Not yet. We got some rain or freezing rain and real bad coming, so I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. Maybe not Friday.
Yeah, for sure. Your Walmart is packed.
I drove on this crap for a living. I don't have to do it no more.
Yeah, I think you guys are there's parts of your part of the country that's supposed to be getting some blizzards and blizzard warnings.
Yeah, we don't got that. Not this time. Last time, the day after, it was like 20, 22 degrees and it was warm. The sun was out. Felt good.
22 degrees and warm out.
Yeah, it felt good. It depends where the wind's coming from.
Let's add our Francisco to the stream. How are you?
There's no whining and bus driving.
Yeah.
Just why not?
I went there today, had my taxes done. I thought I was gonna get back the same amount. I was wrong. Sleepy Joe, because Sleepy Joe keeps printing all this money. So
You paying or do you owe?
no, I don't get what I get. Not much, but I get.
Yeah, we're lucky if we break even.
Yeah, that's why I went there today. I got like 10% extra. So.
I think I'll be paying this year.
Yeah,
I could have. That could be next year, but I wanted to avoid that since I won't be in the country.
This is my first full year retiring, so I didn't have enough taken out, I guess. So, but I'd rather.
Yeah, I made that mistake also years ago. I didn't have enough taken out either.
Hey, $5 a
I'd
week.
rather use my money during the year, and then if I owe a little at the end, fine, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
Better than giving them my money during the year, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's kind of like who's going to take advantage of the asset. You let the government or you let yourself take advantage of the
Well, it looks like the stock market took a dump today, so that doesn't help.
No, that's not good. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm really looking forward to Tesla getting his crap together so that his stock can go way back up. So I need.
Do you own some of it?
I do.
Did you get in early?
Yes.
Good.
I got in cheap,
Good.
but I want to make money.
Yeah,
So,
that's the thing. Buy low, sell high.
and he made the big announcement. If you guys didn't know, I guess he's dropping the prices on his electric car. So, because I guess there's some tax incentive money, but the cars are the only way to get it, electric cars, which I don't really care about electric cars, but the only way to get the tax incentive is for cars that are under a certain dollar amount. And since his doesn't
Oh,
they cost too much, he's going
after
to
they,
slash the prices and drop the price.
they cost too much right now because they gotta get back their investment in it. Then it'll be cheaper.
Well, he has long-term plans to make electric cars with only about $5,000.
Yeah, well, you know what? Nobody answers the question. Where are they going to put all that crap when its life is ended? What are they
Yeah,
going to do?
how
What are they
fun's it
going
going to be to drive in Wisconsin in February, right?
to?
In the
Yeah.
snow and ice.
What are they going to bury? Yeah, you can hear the crunch coming sooner than
Nobody out there with jumper cables for that thing, huh?
no.
Get out there in the morning.
Sure, it can instantly melt the plastic
Right.
covers on the.
It'll melt the snow in that portion of your driveway, right? That's about it.
Yeah, long term, it's not a. I don't believe a viable solution. I think electric vehicles have a place, but man, if that's the only place we have, we're screwed.
Maybe
So,
in our kids' lifetime, but I don't foresee it in the near future.
well, I think they're good for little city cars.
Sure.
That's what I think. But
Yeah, making sure.
They got the what do you call it for that? The hybrids are perfect in the city. You got
well,
better mileage in the city than the highway.
I'm not going to take off and drive across the country in a stinking electric car.
No, man, you got to stop. I got to sit here for 4 hours while this thing juices up.
You know, right? Is that
Hey, Toyota should just keep making hybrids because they do
yeah.
it well.
I think they are, aren't they? I mean, I don't think they're into this thing as deep as.
No, they're not going as full tilt into all EV as the rest.
Well,
No.
just chasing their tail. Is what everybody's doing is chasing their tail, right? Filipino?
I watched a vlog of some guy in California, him and his wife driving one of those trucks, and they were stopping like every hour and a half to charge that thing. I mean, I used to drive from here to Oklahoma 17, 18 hours straight, you know.
Yeah.
In my Mercedes diesel, I stopped one time in St. Louis to fill up. That was the halfway point, you know.
No, and that's kind of our rule of thumb. We travel a lot, and we like our gasoline car, because we don't have a diesel car, but we like it because you can drive for 4 to 5 hours, then you
Right.
get out, fill up, and take
It
a
takes you 5 minutes to recharge it, right? Boom,
and
you're gone.
so we get down to Florida in 19 hours, not 19 days.
Right.
Yeah. So I really think that's going to be a crucial factor.
Hmm.
But little runaround cars, I think is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, these real luxury ones, they have great torque. I mean, they scream to 60. 0 to 60 is like 2.5 seconds because they're all torque. But
Well,
but
now
it's the viability of them.
it is. What I don't understand was this, and I know Lorelai's waiting to talk about her topic, but
There we go. And the dog's reminding you of it.
There's a dog there with a stuffed toys in the mouth, and they're like, hold on, that's my toy.
Tony, did you steal his toy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is tonight a pizza night, Tony?
No, you ain't gonna get me again.
No? Why?
I'm not driving out in this shit.
You get heartburn or what?
Oh,
Well, no,
man.
the delivery guy's got to
It's
bring
like
it to you, right?
walking
I don't
around
need that.
stuffed toys.
well,
How'd
what I
you
was
feel
going to
after
say
the last one?
before our doggies went bonkers because they saw a doggy, is if they really wanted to sell electric cars, here's what they should have did. I believe. When they came out with the new Ford Mustang four-door electric car, which is really stupid, they should have took the Ford Mustang and made the most powerful, fastest electric vehicle there was. And idiots, would go out there and buy it just so they could haul ass in it for a quarter of a mile. and then go home and charge it and go do it again.
Right.
So that would sell electric cars.
Hey, electric cars in the Philippines, you gotta be crazy. Electricity is expensive there.
Well, that and the humidity in the batteries. And
Yeah.
Brown has videos on that on his electric vehicles over the years.
And
Big
all the
cold.
rain and floodwaters, right?
So,
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
especially.
Yeah.
all right, so here's what we're going to do tonight, and Lorelai's going to go over a bunch of this because we will have a lot of people come back and view this segment. Is we're going to talk about how to get the pets to and from the United States
Oh,
to the Philippines and back.
boot 'em?
And she's the expert. So and we're going to I'll put some links after the live stream for everybody that watches this part of it. You can come back and there'll be some links in there that you can follow to help you with information. What would you like to say first, young
I'm
lady?
so excited.
Thank you.
Whatever.
The suspense is killing us.
Oh yeah, please.
I'm so
Or-
tired. I'm from work and like,
Put the dog on the plane and give it a ticket, man. Put a seatbelt on and do it.
what you gonna do before you thinking that you're bringing your furry family inside a plane? You must look at first the destination of what kind of an airplane is available to that route. So you gotta check if that airplane that you're thinking before you book it will carry a dog. So usually here in America, we did Delta and Philippine Airlines. No, and
Oh.
that one American
American.
American Airlines. So you call them before you book. Call
Airline.
the airline specifically to their website. Do not book in third party like other like Expedia like that one or others because um, you might have a problem in booking your load.
There's a lot of dogs on the planes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's some crucial factors, and what she's talking about is not every airplane
Yeah, well,
will take dogs.
yeah,
So you may go, oh, here's a flight I
So-
want, but that particular plane is not
Yeah.
designed for
yeah.
animals.
Hey,
So,
So that's a part.
I've been on many planes with a lot of dogs on them.
yeah, you will try and you see if you have a good time in booking on it.
And so, go ahead.
They have a specific breed that they can fly. So that because so we have the history that dogs died on the airplane. So there's two types you can carry with the passenger, which has the size that's smaller that they can inside on your foot of the passenger seat. And there's another one that go under the plane where the cargoes or luggage will be. So they need to put in the crate. So that's a matter of size. So that's why I always saying advise that if you wanna thinking, you need to check to the airlines on if they carry a dog. Then they have their specific size. Every airlines has a specific dimension of the crate. So we tried this one because we went to different airlines, and we buy twice because
Two different rates.
yeah, the
They
other
were 1 inch too
yeah.
big.
the other one and it kept happening, and they paid by crate size or they paid by weight.
Dimensions. So one thing to keep in mind about the animals themselves, snub nose cannot fly as cargo. So no snub nose animal, cat or dog, can fly as cargo.
Yeah, and there's no comfort dog no more. It must be a
A service dog.
service dog.
So before, right, we had comfort animals and
Yeah.
we had service dogs, but now there are no more comfort animal allowed on planes. They're considered just pets.
You mean emotional support hippos?
That's correct. None of those. I know. That's what it sounds like. He's breathing through like Darth Vader over there.
He can't fly.
Darth Vapor.
That's not me. That's Kiko.
That's That's Tony breathing heavy.
No, it ain't because I had mine on mute.
I know.
So,
Yeah. So that's the big issue that they have a problem with breathing. That's why they can't be oxygen. There must be passed on those medical. So
They
yeah,
can't give they can't give them that mask like they give the humans.
no. Snub-nosed animals can't fly, period. They're too at high risk of dying.
yeah,
So, and then you have two categories, right? The one that goes under the seats, which definitely have to be able to fit like in a 14 by 11 and a half.
yeah, 7 pounds.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like a 7 pound dog is the max you can usually put under a seat. And you can't carry them on your lap or anything like that. So you got to buy a soft kennel to go under the seat if you want
yeah.
to take them on the plane.
Yeah, and that the dog can rotate like standing, and
Yes.
it will. I mean, it's really tiny dog, like a Chihuahua will get in there.
And they have rules, and they will check at the check-in station. They will check at the check-in station. You got a soft carrier. Can that dog stand up, turn around, and eat salmon or
No,
shrimp,
that's shrimp.
and eat the shrimp? So they will double check that and make sure. If they can't, you don't get to go. No doggy.
Yeah,
go.
they need to spin around. They can need to lay, and if they
Uh-huh.
cannot spin or stand,
They can-
then
they'll-
no.
What kills them? The stress or
No, the airline will say it's not humane for the animal to fly.
Yeah, because they need to stretch.
Yeah,
They need to
yeah.
breathe.
If they can't get up and move around in their kennel,
Mhm.
they can't do that. And there are the airplane websites, all the airplane websites have very good details about here's exactly what you're going to do on our plane. So that's that part. And the kennel that goes inside has to be a specially, and we've done videos
Yeah,
about the kennel. Sky Kennel is the best one out there. They have to be hard plastic or wood or metal.
yeah,
They have to have bolts, metal bolts, not plastic
and
bolts.
zip tag, because here's the truth. They said that somebody will feed the dog when under the bed of the plane. No, nobody feed the dog until you will
Don't they,
to the airport.
don't
And
they drug them and so they sleep?
yeah,
No,
that
no.
drug will not allowed now. Before, a long time ago, they did, but
Hmm.
due to the one of the airlines got killed of those issue, so they're preventing that. It must be on the medical that this dog is not drugged or sedated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because one thing that they don't allow us, because the airplane has a bump, so
Hmm.
it can be happen that they're covered by nose by their blanket, and they can't move because they're sedated and
Turbulence.
killed. So that's the point. And you always have, okay, before, or we're gonna talk about how we will put the dog in a few after this. So you call the airlines, figure out if that travel or airlines that you're gonna take will allow dogs, and you need to check your dogs if it's not what's that name, snub nose. And after that, do not book yet. So here, this is a very really tricky, because bringing your dogs make your ticket expensive, because they will not confirm if unless after the 10 days that your dog it can't went through. So if you want to go with your dogs, fly with your dogs, then that's a big problem. But either there's an option that their dog they just get in the airport, or somebody will drop the dogs in the airport with that airplane, and the owner will wait somewhere. But in ours, we really like wait exactly. We're flying with the dogs. So what we did is to find this is a really really hard. So we went through the airline so much phone calls, which exactly that has a air ventilation on the belly of the plane that can take the load, especially on this pandemic. So that's really really hard. Then after that, you go to your vet, get all this vaccination, because the vaccine, and they need to have this permit there's two. If you will be in local, they have those. What kind of a permit is that? That fly state only.
Right. International.
No, that's what you will
No.
get. Then another one for it for
Right.
export.
What happens is
Like in the registered vet, you know what I'm saying?
right. Technically,
There's a state.
what the airline is going to do is this, and this, I mean, it is crazy. Don't, and Lorelei is absolutely correct. You have to deal with the airline directly. You cannot use Expedia or anybody else to book animals. It doesn't work. So you can't do that. So you work with the airline directly. And what she's talking about is you can buy your ticket ahead of the time, but there's no guarantee your dog or cat's going to get to fly because they won't book your animal until 10 days before the flight leaves. So you got to get in line. And you want to be the first one on the phone, day number 10, to call them up and say, look, I need to get my animal booked.
There's a limited only dogs can.
I'm an animal. They gave me a ticket.
First come, well, we know that.
Some others there are 4, and there's like 5 and pets that can be in that cargo.
And that's it.
So
Cargo,
yeah.
So there's a limit, and there's no guarantee. And then, of course, each airline is going to require you to have a veterinary health certificate for the animal to get on the plane. Period.
Yeah, and by the way, before booking or anything, making sure that theirs is a really bad because when you need to book, the temperature must be on.
It's only certain
times of the year. So mostly it will be like either spring before spring to summer or going to fall. That's the best way because it's summer, it's too hot, they will not allow the dog to fly. Or if it's too cold, they don't allow the dog to fly.
And your vet, when he does his health certificates, there's a place on there where he puts on the temperatures that your dog is allowed to fly in. And if he says that your dog is only allowed to fly at 70 to 80 degrees and 65, it's not getting on. But the airline has their own parameter
other 20 degrees.
And what we're looking at is spring to early summer when it gets hot, then it stops. Then you get fall, and then winter stops in the United States. So
I'm too big to go on a cargo holder, Joe.
Well, I don't know, maybe, but
no, Joe said, I ride down there.
But so that's some of the crucial things with the airlines. Remember, like Lorelei mentioned, depending on the airline company, would it dictate the size of the crate. She told you we bought one set of crates for one airline, and it turned out that we didn't get to fly in that airline. The next airline said, sorry, those crates are 1 inch too big. 1 inch.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to buy brand new crates to put the dogs in.
You must have spent enough to buy a new car.
I know.
We spent a lot of money.
Lord.
Without question. And then there's rules about the crates. A lot of rules. And then I'll link a thing in there. We got videos about the crates.
Yeah, it has more 4 windows or ventilated.
It has that 4-sided ventilation. It has to be where it doesn't collapse. You have to tag it, identify it. You have to put food and water in it. Even though, like she said, they never gave them
I know.
food. So, which is okay. Our vet, and the other thing I'll mention to you about the medicine, our vet said vets no longer recommending putting your dogs under for travel.
You can
vets won't recommend that anymore.
Like what is that?
What?
Like a sleep
melatonin.
Yeah, melatonin. You can give it a tiny.
They said you could give it a little bit of melatonin, something natural, but vets nowadays are not going to put your dog under or give you drugs for it. Just not going to do it. That's how we got in.
Yeah, and making sure that the rabies is like 1 year before flight.
Yes.
Because they will not allow you if they just injected the.
There's a window that if your animal just got its rabies shots, you're not going to be able to fly with it. So, and the other thing about the local health certificate, it has about, was it a 10-day or a 14-day window that it has to be used in? So if my vet says, so if I'm flying out on the 30th, I need to get
No,
my
10 days
health certificate
expiration.
around the 20th or the 21st or
Yeah.
the 23rd so that it goes past when I need to fly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little
Yeah.
fine details.
In the
that you-
state, yeah, they have those local one, and there's
Mhm.
for another international. So we have a two permit going in the Philippines and from Arkansas
to
to
California.
California.
So yeah, there's two different things. Rules to get to California to get out of the country or just within the country.
Yeah.
And a whole other set of rules to get into the Philippines.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, and every plane, every time you move, like change the what is that called? The
Transfer,
yeah,
layover.
the plane. What is it called? There's a fancy aircraft or whatever that one. You need to pay the dog. So
Yes, we paid. It's like
every time you transfer, it doesn't matter the same
Yeah.
destination. Every time you transfer an airplane, dog
new
fee.
fee. So
I
like
don't know.
if
I
you're
don't know. The big flew a plane.
if your ticket goes from, let's say, Atlanta to Los Angeles with a stop in Dallas, you may only pay one fee for your ticket, but you're paying two fees. You're going from Atlanta to Dallas,
Connecting flight.
doggy fee, Atlanta or Dallas to Los Angeles, another fee. And I think ours
Yeah, and you need to extra. Oh my goodness.
from XNA to Dallas, to Los Angeles.
XNA.
Yeah,
That's
XNA to
International Airport
Okay.
to Los
to the
Angeles.
Los Angeles is our direct flight
Right, but it was $350 per
for
dog.
dogs.
Oh Jesus.
Not
Man.
including all the other expenses. That
Only
was
the ticket.
just them,
Hey,
just for the dog.
then you did it a month later to come back, huh?
Well, we did it 6 months later, but yeah,
Oh my
And
God.
another one from California to the Philippines.
right. Which the funny thing was that was the same price, even though it was much further. It
Yeah.
was $350.
They said as
per
long
dog.
as you transfer and that's it, considered as cargo.
So now that's what you have to do, within the state walls is to get them back and forth. To get them into the Philippines, what did you have to do?
No, before that.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we don't need to skip. We're doing the thing first. So yeah, just making sure that before you get those, tell your what's this vet that you have a flight for that specific, so that they can order that one because there's a time frame, right? That the expiration for the permit. So they go there, they analyze the dog, they're looking on their, and they give them a
All kinds of shots. Yeah.
then they will submit that one. It must be accredited vet.
Mhm.
So yeah, you get those all their vaccine, and it must be microchip.
Yes.
So if you're thinking next year, they need to get a microchip now,
Yes.
because they will not allow if less than a year. So it might be a microchip. The dog has valid vaccine that will not expire for 6 months,
Right.
and that dog must be like, what's that, 8 weeks older?
Yeah, 8 weeks or older.
Yeah, and they must have like a condition that they can fly. As I said, a doctor will put a waiver that they can fly more than 20 degrees, at least 20 degrees cold, because due to the transfer and moving.
Right.
And
Because the temperature issue is not just the plane, because the cargo's heated and cooled, but it's getting out of the plane back into the airport is the temperature condition. And that's the tricky thing. So you never know when it's going to be a cold snap and 40 degrees less than it's supposed to be.
So what is that? They said the doctor that they called a fibo. What is that for the dogs that they're trying to inject? But the vet said no, double check that one because we're not giving the dog.
What's this chip thing? Did that chip come out of them or what?
No, it's a microchip.
They injected that one. They operated.
And what it is, it has a serial number that's registered to your animal. It's called a microchip. And they have a scanner. And at the airport, they're going to scan it. and they're
Yeah.
going to look at all your paperwork to see
If you are the owner.
and right,
Well,
the owner,
that
but if that matches that breed of animal,
Yeah.
that chip stays in them forever.
forever,
Yes.
forever, forever.
That's the future of humans down the road too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what's really good about that is if you lose your animal, they just scan it and it
Mhm.
gives you the owner's
The
name.
vet can scan it, or they can go to
Any
somewhere
vet,
and
any vet,
Yeah, I know that all seems real handy, just like when you pay with your phone for stuff. But
right?
that's just an odd way of controlling
yeah,
everybody.
they can look at everything like who's the owner, how old is the dog, the breed of the dog, the description, the picture, who is the owner, where they can return or call you.
Right.
So yeah, they must have those just in case the dog will get lost on the airplane.
One of the crucial things, timing wise, because it's the timing is the difficult part.
Yeah.
When you do your veterinarian paperwork, your vet has to send this to the U.S. government, the U.S. Department of Agri, and then a veterinarian there stamps approval.
Yeah, that's
that,
for international. Yeah.
right, but you got to get that within so many days,
Mhm.
and it takes days
Because
to get
the
that
vet
back.
will stamp the local, then he will submit to the big, what's
To the
that?
federal
To the
government.
federal government, and they will wait for a day or two to
To-
get it back, and
to
she
the
will
vet.
process it again. I mean, it's freaking mess.
Yeah, we cut it close. I mean,
Yeah, I was really like mad because it's like, yeah, like this, but no, I mean,
I'll tell you on a side note, it was such of a pain in the butt and a hassle, and our vet did such of a
yeah,
good
he's
job.
really, really good.
We went and bought them. We spent about $100 on barbecue for his office.
Yeah.
Before we left and caught the plane
Yeah.
ride and took
After
them
we
over
get this
lunch.
permit, then we turn back and buy them for all the chaos.
Yeah.
Mm.
The other thing you got to keep in mind
Because we
is-
get our permit for the dog and we're flying tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Like that really bad.
But part of what you got to keep in mind is we're talking about the Philippines. We're not talking about Korea. Korea is a different animal.
Well, they eat dogs there. That's
If we would have flown into Korea,
No,
okay.
it's really-
Gogi.
they would have quarantined the animals. So you got to think about how you're going to get to the Philippines. You can't. There's certain countries that will not let you
Yeah,
transfer the animals through their airports
because of the longer time that in the cargo. So you
Mhm.
must have a direct flight because you said like it's less than 13, the maximum of 13
Yeah,
hours.
correct.
That's the
Mhm.
only they can allow the dog to travel on that
Right.
period time. So yeah, we went to Las Vegas and straight to
Well,
Cebu.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles to Cebu.
Right.
And finally, like, we got it. Then,
But
I know.
if we would have stopped in Korea, one, we would have been there a week, and it would have cost us a ton of money.
Well, you got a lot of rice there.
Well, of course, I got rice, and the paperwork would have been 10 times harder and more difficult.
yeah, because you landed there and you need to get permit from Korea to the Philippines or from America
Mhm.
to Korea, Korea going to the Philippines. It's a mess.
So after we met all those paperwork requirements and we got the kennels correct, we were able to get on a plane here in the United States without any hassle because we had multiple copies of all the documents, right?
Yeah.
So we loaded up an XNA.
Yeah, that's really bad because, yeah, after those, we confirmed that the dog is good. So we book a ticket. And the problem is, which which aircraft that can get us. So oh my goodness.
Yes.
So yeah, we book our ticket like 8 days after
Right.
after the dog is confirmed that it's flying. So yeah, I mean it's freaking expensive.
We knew this much for us. If the dogs couldn't fly, we weren't flying. So we had to get them approved to fly and took a gamble after we got things kind of with the airline going, we're going to get all this paperwork in time and within the 10 days. But made our airline tickets more expensive.
Yeah, so they will not so the airplane they will not let you pay to the right for the
You got to pay it at the
for the
ticket
way.
station.
So you need to go to the luggage area. They will
Yeah.
send you the what's this because airport to airport has a different where they'll process the dog. So if you will put that air ticket, as I said, you need to call to the airlines that you're bringing live animals, and they will have a special ticket. Making sure that you put it there because airlines people has 5 different answer every time you call. I mean, I
Yes.
swear. So maybe because it was like a pandemic, that's why they have different. So yeah, finally we found out that you make it sure that they put your ticket that you're bringing a live animal. Because if not, it's not registered. I mean, they will deny your dog in front of there, and there's no
Refund.
no. I mean, there's no walk-in dogs.
Yeah,
you need to put there on your airlines that you're bringing a dog.
So what she's saying is, and this is crucial, if you're going to fly your animals, you book an airline ticket for the humans, and on that ticket you say you're flying with dogs.
Yeah, live.
Okay. Then you call the airport, the airline, through the cargo department and book and pay, and you book the tickets for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't tell them when you book for the humans that you're flying with the dogs, you're screwed. Even if you call the cargo department and have the dogs booked. So you got to do double booking and make sure the human side on your ticket, like if you're going to fly with a disabled guy, I'm flying with somebody disabled. I'm flying.
Yeah,
with
making
dogs.
sure you're not doing like you need to clear if it's cargo or passenger the dog.
That's correct.
Because you will get denied.
So, and if you're taking your little doggy with you under the seat, that's a different animal. You book that with the human ticket and you pay there. When you book the dogs as cargo,
making sure you put it live animal cargo.
We didn't get to pay that bill until we got to the airport when they weighed the animals and verified everything.
Yeah.
Then we got charged the money for
because it will be by size and the weight. So
right.
A smaller size with the weight, a bigger size with the weight.
So those are just some crucial factors.
Yeah.
And if you think you're going to hustle the airline or bullshit them,
they need to weigh. You have the paperwork. They look in the paperwork, like your permit first. So we showed our permit from the state. So going to what's that? California. So yeah, that was the first, and they look at it, the chips and whose dog and whose the other passport, like, oh really, like you're a criminal. So I know. Then later on they said, no, you're not done yet. So yeah, they get the dogs. I said, yeah, you need to wait there because they will check up the dog on the screening.
That's right. And this is one thing that's interesting to keep in mind about the vet stuff. Technically, to get it, you have to have a permit,
a health certificate
to get into California.
Uh-huh.
But so this is what the rule is in California. You know how screwy they are. You got to have a permit. They didn't ask us for it, but our vet told us, look, they want a permit, so I'm going to give you a permit for California. If they ask, you have it. So like Hawaii is a totally different thing. Hawaii has a lot of their own restrictions. So
yeah, if you state by state, you now have the health certificate permit. You're traveling with a dog, and that's really.
But then when you go through screening,
so yeah, you go to screening. Okay, you're everything, and they will call you, the attendant. Hey, are you the owner of the dogs? So yeah, can you go with me? Like, yeah, you're like criminal, like how the escort is like that. So you go to follow to the person attendant, and you go into the different costume, and they just like you, okay, this is your dog. Yes, okay, get that dog out because they will not open the crate.
Yeah.
So you just carry their dog, like there's like 5 people with guns there watching you, because David was behind, and they look like staring at you, like looking at your behavior. And of course I got my dog like one by one, right? So they open the crate, they will, like, is that like a swab
for drugs.
Then look at all the blankets and everything, like, like you're watching the costume that they get inspected with a costume because they're suspicious for dealing drugs. That's exactly what happened there. So I'm just bringing the dog, they screen it, then I walk with the screen with the dog, and there's nothing popping.
You have to take the dog with you through the x-ray machine.
Yeah, and they will look at
they put the kennel through the baggage claim x-ray.
They do the x-ray too, and they will look at the inside and everything.
They do a thorough check.
If there's no powder.
Yeah, I mean, it was really pretty thorough.
Yeah, then they said like, oh, so you're the mama. Say, yeah. Okay, making sure that your dog got drink because nobody will feed them or nobody get drink with them. So yeah, that's why, you always put like a small tape of the food there on the top of the kennel
Extra.
because you cannot get out your stuff because it's already checked in.
Yeah.
So you just get their food and a drink there, and you pour it. Then you will see them. After that, you cannot see them no more. They will
Exactly.
separate. So while we're waiting in our plane in the waiting area, so our dogs will separate to us, and
They go to baggage.
yeah, and after that, when every baggage are, all the passengers are in the plane before they will deliver our dog under the plane, and we can see that there are like few of them, like five.
Yeah, we actually saw the dogs going up on the
Yeah.
baggage ramp into the belly of the plane.
They're quiet.
But one tip we got off the internet
Yeah, tell
was to make sure that as we boarded the plane,
always.
that we asked and made sure if our dogs got on the
Yeah,
plane.
tell the pilot that you have a live animal on board.
Or chief steward or whatever you want.
Yeah,
to
but they
call
said they tell the
Yeah.
pilot to aware, because the pilot will hi hello to you, right? So making sure that when you get in, tell the pilot that we have a live animal in the cargo.
And we want to make sure that they made it into the cargo.
Yeah, because how they fly in a certain latitude, they cannot go over because of the dog restriction.
Right. I know they know this. They got a system in place, but it's always good just to verify. Hey,
Yeah, that's the requirements you need to
Yeah.
tell them no
Didn't-
matter what.
did the puppies get on the plane? Are you aware that there's dogs on the plane? It's a very good just backup plan. So that got us onto the plane.
Yeah, and when my dogs never eat or drink their food. They have a little bit blanket so that they can pee.
Well, and
And-
and there's a system in the kennel that you have to follow. It has to be a waterproof kennel. It has to have a liner in it. It has
so
to
that
have
no
this.
water.
And if you watch our kennel videos about the Sky Kennel, it breaks down everything that the kennel has to be.
Mm-hmm. So it must be more than 3 inches height from the floor.
Yeah, it's a lot of
From
little
the
rules.
bottom.
A lot of rules.
Yeah.
But the good news is you can buy the specialized kennels at Petco. Or
Yeah. So
Amazon.
feed them. Then after that, we went to what's that? So we fly.
Mhm.
Then so we went our baggage, so they don't give the dog yet because they went to somewhere, and they will notify us like, hey, your dog is ready. So yeah, we show them again that, so because we check out outside because we stay one night on the hotel.
So we flew into Cebu, is what she's referring to. Right?
No, we arrive in the California. We check out
Oh.
out on the airport. Not really out in the airport because the hotel is inside the airport.
Well, just for
Because
clarification.
there's no connecting flight. You need to stay a night before your another flight.
Yeah, for us, we weren't able to go straight from Los Angeles to Cebu. We had to spend the night in Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Because the time there's
Right.
no.
And then catch the plane early in the morning to get out of the United States to Cebu.
So yeah, we did all that mess. We carry all of we're moving. So every single bit we have. Then you need to book an hotel that has a dog friendly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what happened when we landed in Cebu? Let's get to Cebu.
And the hotel, hold on, why you were Harry there? And the dog actually have the what is that? No refund and plus 1 night for a dog each.
I mean the hotels.
Like an insurance, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're bringing a dog, it's not refundable.
Yeah, anything for animals is non-refundable.
Yeah, but you have this plus one dog per night.
It's like, are you referencing the fact that we paid $75 for each dog at the hotel?
Yeah, but plus they
Yeah.
have this like insurance that like 200 something.
Well,
the dog.
And let me back up and give you some advice about the airline tickets.
No,
Okay, but just listen for a second. When you do the airline tickets, make sure that you give them and you pay the extra money where you get them refundable. If not, if any of this weirdness happens and you can't fly, you're out of all of your money. So a travel tip is to have the travel insurance on this.
Yeah, here's the good thing. If you book directly to the airlines, for example, the
Yes.
American Airlines, they have this window that they can use that later, or they can refund if they're full or if canceled, or you can use that in different. But if the third party, they will tell you that if you book the third party, call the third party but in them they can rearrange and everything is really good. So yeah, David span of booking in third party, but that one we learn like, no, David, it's not gonna book them because it's pandemic and we have this issue of the dog get delayed or whatsoever what happened. So the it's look like we have a 1 year, right, that you can use your
Oh, I
different
don't,
days.
I don't know, but I'm
Yeah,
just
and we
telling you,
have an insurance too.
it's worth the money for the insurance.
Yeah.
So that you're not out all of your money.
And when you book in the hotel, they give you like this, like, because like their couch can be scratched whatsoever. So
Yeah, we
they
got
have
the
this like insurance too.
at the hotel, the Hilton at the airport, we paid $75 extra per dog for the one night that we were there.
Yeah, plus the other one.
Plus all
You
the extra
forgot.
fees to the plane.
No, you for bringing a dog, just to booking a dog, you pay for this whole thing plus another per night. You forgot? Okay, so yeah, there's a one fee, this non-refundable, and there's an additional every night for the dogs.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
And we packed and we're going to Philippine Airlines from Los Angeles to Cebu.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what was the process getting onto PAL Airlines? Because we came back to the airport and had to go and get on PAL. What was that like?
So yeah, the good thing is it's the biggest airlines in the Los Angeles is the PAL because a lot of Filipino going there. And it's easy for you to speak because there's a Filipino there, they can speak Tagalog. And here's the problem because they're not really hard because it's Philippines, You're just like, oh, where's the permit? And this one, oh yeah, where's your ticket? Look at it. And okay, so you need to have those like here's the problem. In going to the Philippines, you need to exactly go to the website. It's called, what is that? BIA by.gov.ph, where you will need to permit through the website just to let the foreign dog going in the Philippines, and that is freaking annoying. Anyway, they have 31 days before the permit expired.
So here's the government website for the Philippine government that you have to use to get anywhere and to get the paperwork done.
Yeah, so you have like the health certificate, you submit the health certificate, you submit the microchips per dog, you need to submit their history of their vaccines, and I need to send my passport that I'm the owner of the dog. Then I need to, the website are not very, very friendly because you need to keep refresh to get in. Then you need to download a certain, like, for example, like 8 or 10, they need to say what is the picture of the dog, so you need to submit picture. Then microchip, under the microchip, like a section that you can download per document, and that is not problem. Then you need to redo it again because there's a maximum of PDF that they can
take.
Upload. So then I made like twice or three times attempt of creating, because I don't know, I told you it's not friendly. I wish I can teach you, but yeah. And
so it's like a drop down menu where you go through this thing, and it's like filling out a tax document. You go through and you just start filling out all your information, and they want everything under God's creation.
then at first they said rejected for some reason. They was like rejected. Then the second attempt said for review. Then they will give you those two barcodes. It says the certificate, like a permit. There's color green on it. So yeah, then you need to bring that through the international airlines going to the Philippines because you
Get on
cannot
the
fly if you don't have those
If you don't have the bar,
import
right,
import or export permit.
from the Philippines, so you're going to get a barcode and you're going to need to have it in duplicate just so you don't lose it.
Yeah, like that's a custom for international, like you're
Right.
bringing your animals, so you need to have those registered on that Philippine Gov, but bai.gov.ph.
And if,
So
and if I remember right, the Philippine Airlines didn't really care about our veterinarian health certificate.
no,
They
they
were
tell
concerned
you,
about
no,
the
they tell you do not book yet if you don't get those permit, because the
right.
permit is 31 days. But if you don't get those permit, no matter what, your dog cannot get out. So it's better yeah, that's the reason why our ticket is not booked, because we need those permit first, because 31 days. So I went to the bank to authenticate all my paperwork that this is certified,
Notarized.
the microchip letter that this dog is microchipped by this person who operate the dog,
Our
and
vet.
their health certificate plus their international certificate.
So we had all of that notarized just to
Yeah.
make sure that we wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, your local bank can notarize that free from you.
Right. But Philippine Airlines, look, I'm not saying that our local vet paperwork wasn't any good. That's not my point.
Yeah, that's a different stage.
My point is PAL Air wanted to make sure that you had the Philippine import permit,
Yes.
the green document with the barcodes.
Yeah.
So we had a stack
Like
of
SP,
papers
something SP.
and all of our local stuff was in there, and they glanced at it. They were more concerned about their own paperwork. Just keep that in mind. That's the primary for the Philippine
Yeah.
Airlines, not American Airlines.
Because in every country you need to have this permit. So that permit, as I said, when you created that to the internet, there's all the files that you need to put. So on that permit, they know that it's already certified. All you have, all the documents that they needed, or else they will not give you the permit. So yeah, so I passed that one and sent, and they get my you know my ID, and they ask David about our marriage contract and say like, yeah, that's my husband, because of the visa that he
Valid
can
buy-on.
go to the Philippines. So yeah, so our dogs they wait, and there was a funny is because there's a really big dog there, like a wolf size, right? He's really like a big, 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 and his crate is look like,
Something you could put a human in. It was
yeah,
that big.
it's look like it's made of metal.
Solid metal.
Yeah, like really heavy. So I mean, I just watching there because they need to create and they measure like, oh my goodness, and they don't know how to weigh because it's big.
And they couldn't have it. They didn't have it was so big.
Yeah, because I told them like, I mean, I'm not trying to interrupt your business, but this is how you can weigh. So and they're looking at me like,
But the process to get on the Philippine Airlines was the same thing. We got to the airport. We went to
yeah,
Philippine
they need to
Airlines.
weigh.
We took the dogs up there, our paperwork. They took the dogs from us once they verified everything, and we didn't see the dogs
Yeah,
again
because they need
until
to.
we got into Cebu.
Yeah, they need to talk to the. Oh yeah, our plane is flying an hour, and we're still waiting for the dog to check in.
Mhm.
So I told David, like, what is it like? I told to David just to zipper the mouth, because I'm the only one handling, and don't bitch about me, because I'm really exhausted and doing all of this. Just
Okay,
sit down there.
But
So-
what happened when we got to Cebu?
Hold on, why are you skipping on it?
I'm not. I'm trying to
So,
get us
yeah.
through this.
Oh, we have 2 hours. So I went there and they're checking like, oh, this was way and like this. So they call me again, going to the custom, and yeah, I do that dog and they process it like the same thing, and I feed the dog. So we went in the was the Cebu at midnight. Then they gave us a hi Grace. Then
Everybody's
when we
on
arrived
race.
there, so they just asked us permit, and there's no problem. We're waiting for our quarantine, thing.
Thank you for the thumbs up. Everybody, give us a thumb up, by the way.
So yeah, so we check in the hotel with the dogs, obviously that was quarantined with us.
Okay, but let's back up a tiny bit.
Yeah, I told you that they just need the certificate and you just pay like how many pesos
Right.
was
So because I'm trying to do it step by step so people can really understand. So we got off the plane in Cebu, right? And
Yeah.
we go through normal customs like
yeah,
everything
getting
else.
our luggage and we don't see our dog yet.
Don't see our dogs until the very, very end.
Yeah.
And they have all the animals together over in a separate group. Now remember, this was still when they were requiring negative testing. So we still had to go through the testing process back then. Life is different now at the airport. So, but we went through the testing, proved that we were negative, did all of that. And then we finally got to our dogs.
Yeah, they bring our dogs with us. Then
And
yeah,
what proof did you have that they were our dogs?
the permit and my passport that I'm the person who's bringing the dog that match on the thing. I paid them again there.
Yeah, it wasn't very much, like $7.
Yeah, like 200 something, whatever that one.
Yeah,
So yeah, and there's no card, so it must be cash.
yeah.
So
we got there. We got to
yeah,
the
so that's
counter.
not hard when I get in. You're just asking this permit, and I'm good. But the problem is going back.
Yes. So what we had to do just get through this process. We get our dogs picked up. Obviously, at this time we were all quarantined, and that was a nightmare. But normally, what you do is just pick your dogs up, get in your cab, and go home.
Yeah, they don't even check the dog because they already
They
checked on the.
They did.
They just look at your like,
The
yeah,
paperwork.
that's your dog.
They go, are these yours? Yeah. Okay, good. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that got us to the Philippines. Now coming back was the nightmare.
Here's the really annoying. The airline's telling, yeah, we cannot confirm until tomorrow that we're
24
gonna
hours.
do this available
In the Philippines.
dogs that can go in under the plane. Like, are you serious? So I've been emailing and calling, like, this is not gonna happen. Like, there's an international flight, right? And so accidentally I went off to the higher of the Philippine Airlines and finally get steer all of it and book my dogs. But I'm telling you, I've been like call center every day until the 10 days I've been calling. I finally got the dog when it's gonna book. So yeah, they don't. Here's the funny in the Philippines, because here in America, in a certain age, the vaccine will what is that? The rabies will some other like 1 year, another expired for 3 years. But in the Philippines, they do that yearly. And the problem is if you touch that American dog, there's a rabies from the Philippines, it's not American dog at all.
So here's how it worked in the Philippines, getting back to the United States.
Yeah.
With a lot of trickiness. One thing, luckily for us, the United States government changed the rules. And when we first got there, you couldn't get your dogs back in the into America, period.
No Filipino dogs.
No dogs back into the United States, period. The CDC said no. Luckily, that changed. But we still had a lot of problems. And the rule was that your dog had only been out of the country for less than a year and still had to have a valid
vaccine.
United States rabies vaccine. The United States government, and maybe this has changed, but the last I looked on CDC, it's the same thing. To get them back in the country, they got to have a valid.
1
Now,
year.
if they don't, you have to fill out a whole other set of paperwork. So if you truly have a dog that's born in the Philippines and you want to bring them to the United States, that's a different category of paperwork, and it's much more intense in depth than it is if your dog's from America, goes to the Philippines, and comes back within a valid year of the rabies vaccine.
Yeah.
If it's still
If
valid.
all their permit are 1 year and vaccines are still
And
before
and what
expired.
and it was and what Loriely is talking about with the airlines.
No, as long as their vaccine is valid, they can go home to America.
That's correct. That's what I just
But
said.
that time, Lily or Daisy is almost due.
That's right. So we got them there in the time. But what Loriely is mentioning about the airline, at the time that we came back, Cebu was not doing international flights. So we had to go to Manila to get back to the United States, which means that there is only one plane a day that flew from Cebu to Manila that was dog capable. So if this is going to be your situation, if you're going to have to go from Cebu to Manila, you need to make sure which airplane it is,
Yeah,
not
and
flight
what time?
number. And this is what Lorelai did so well. She spent days and days on the phone fighting with Philippine Airlines about which plane is it, and all they could
What
do is say,
aircraft?
"Yeah, which aircraft is it?" And the answer was, "Well, we don't know. We don't know." They couldn't give us a straight answer, so that took to figure out. So that's one thing. The other side thing is there is an agencies out there that will help you get you travel your dogs in the Philippines. They will do all the Filipino
Pick you
paperwork.
up in the.
And you just pay them a fee and they do the paperwork. They can take your dog to the airport. They can do all of that for
If you
you
don't do the hassle, want to do the hassle.
if you don't want to go through the hassle. So, what was the paperwork like in the Philippines? Do you remember?
Yeah, there's two too. From Cebu to Philippine to Manila permit, like a local permit, and there's
Yes.
another one that we get it from CDC that our dogs doesn't need to all those things because they're American dogs. So we need to prove that the CDC telling like our dogs is
Permitted,
exempted
permitted
for
back in the
the
States.
yeah, because that time they said no, not no dogs at all, but
Right.
except that David said about exemption about the dog that is with American dog they can go back. So yeah, and this vet, the other one doesn't know about rules like, oh, that's America, but you're in the Philippines, so I will I will not um sign us paperwork of health certificate because they need a rabies shot. Here is yearly because ma'am, I don't even spend 6 months here and my dog is valid and you cannot give my dog a vaccine, a rabies vaccine, because if you inject my dog, I can't bring my dog at all in the America because there's a Filipino vaccine there. So and that makes me worse and lot. So yeah, I'm luckily I found this. I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing my dog in really hot and yeah, I mean really so bad. It's storms.
So
Then I found there's a vet that she's back and forth in America and she understand what exactly here. So I just chit chat her using my like this and we chit chat and said yeah I can give you a certificate for this one. Then finally we got it. Then that health certificate you need to bring that to the
airline.
no to get the permit.
Oh yes.
And like I'm not going there because I don't know where exactly it is. So yeah, I used my friend to pay her. She processed everything. So I gave her money that she gave this international permit because remember we need two, right? Local permit, international permit. So yeah, it's only one day she can give that without bringing my dogs there because on the vet you need to bring your dogs so that they can certify that is healthy in condition, and after that the person can bring those paperworks only without bringing the dog because there's some question that if they bring the dog to that by government.
Which right. So let me summarize. In order to come back, we had to get a local permit by a local
Yeah, the
vet.
same as America.
Right, a health certificate, just like the same. Our first vet was an idiot. The second vet, didn't have a problem with it. So that gave us that. We were able to take that paperwork, which is partly what Philippine Airlines wanted also,
Yeah,
and we gave it to a handler who went to the port where BI is, the government agency for animal exportation.
yeah, that's only way it was cheap one.
Right, and it was well worth the $100 I gave her, which was overpriced. I mean, she didn't ask for that
Yeah.
kind of money, but she did
Yeah,
it.
because of the taxi, the
Yeah, just look,
fee.
$100, and she got it done and had it done in I could give a crap. So we gave her she went and did that, brought us back all the paperwork that she got at the port through the government agency. And since she's used to doing this, and I highly recommend these people, then she got it done way quicker and way less hassle than we ever did.
Yeah, because David almost paying this to get our dogs VIP. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
go on the what's that airline in the
Well,
Arabs.
Well,
But you know, I'm very thrifty, so I told like, no, I can get this one. I will go to the Philippine Airlines and finally bring our dog. Because if not, we have this another option that they cater the dog, babysit the dog, they hotel the dog, and you will meet the dog on the America.
well, since we couldn't, what she's talking about is since we couldn't get a straight answer from the Philippine government and or Philippine Airlines at the time because we kept getting the runaround,
Yeah.
we made arrangements through the international handler to take the dogs to Dubai.
That's a 2,000, right?
Right, and it was going to run us about $2,500 to $3,000 for each dog to go through Dubai, and we would have to spend the night in Dubai International Airport and do a bunch of more paperwork. But the Philippine Airlines couldn't give us a straight answer about what the hell to do or how to do it, so we were going to have to go this other route. That's what she's saying. It wasn't because I wanted to; it's because we had no other choice.
Yeah, you owe me that one, by the way.
And
Because
then
you're gonna pay that
I
one.
like that airline.
then luckily,
Yeah, I keep asking Dave about my payment for that one because he's really paying for it.
we are able to get paperwork processed through Philippine Airlines, through the BIA, is it BIA? Yeah, BIA.
Yeah, and find the aircraft one.
And once we got that done, we still had a fight every day. Once we got word from Philippine Airlines and said, yes, we have one plane a day that will go to Manila. Before that, when we were looking at Dubai, they kept saying, oh, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Freaking and then, but luckily, they finally said yes. Loriely got a hold of some upper management.
It looked like the vice president, almost like the really top, like
What airline?
yeah, the Philippine Airlines. Like you know what?
Oh, Philippine.
It's like the really higher there, like the top
Yeah.
manager. Then I emailed this. They include all the managers there in Cebu and the Philippines, including there like 5 of them. And finally, they gave me an answer. Like I said like what? I'm not trying to sugarcoat with you, but we don't have a problem on getting from Philippines, from Philippine Airlines to Cebu, but you have a really good credibility and going to the from America to the Philippines because it's really nice, so you take care. But in here, like, come on, you're originally from the Philippines, and you can even answer one question that what kind of an aircraft that kind of bring dog. Don't ever tell me that you're gonna give me 24 hours because it's not gonna happening because it's international flight. So there's no way in hell you're giving me. I'll give you an update after within 24 hours. So what plane that you could book? So it end up like we got this ticket today and confirm and book it right away. No, it was canceled because it's full. So we get the second one that can do the dog. Then finally I got a ticket and confirm everything that dog will go. It registered right. So all the certificate, license,
separate ones
everything. So we went to David on that day to get the nose. Hopefully we can pass because tomorrow our flight.
No, the testing.
That's really bad. So yeah, we book a ticket a day before we leave.
And we also looked at what is it, Cebu Pacific Airline. They couldn't get us to Manila. So anyway, but now if Cebu is making direct flights back to the United States, then it's not as big as problem.
So yeah,
as we had going from Cebu to Manila.
So yeah, we get those ticket right finally, and we swab like a 1-day ticket, and tomorrow like this really expensive. Obviously, right, because it's like an emergency ticket. And here you go. This was a funny one. We went to the airport, and if you like this people like, oh yeah, they will check. Oh, the Manila will check that dog.
Yeah, so we get to Cebu. And they basically go, well, we don't want to look at anything. We'll figure it out in Manila.
That one will bite? No, it's like, oh, just look at the X-ray there and they're good.
And part of that was because now, as you guys probably know who's been flying back and forth, that the U.S. Customs is in Manila. They used to be based in Cebu, Mactan, and Manila. But with the airport got leveled by the typhoon and the COVID, they canceled that department out of Cebu and just went to Manila.
Yeah,
So Cebu really didn't give a crap because they knew that the U.S. Customs was going to check things in Manila.
Every custom in different country, they have there in the Philippines, in Manila. So you go there, they like process you in 3 times because usually the foreign country that you're departing will inspect you there. They have a trained staff that will inspect you so that when you arrive on your departure, it's not that hard.
Right. So we were able to get the tickets, to get the paperwork through the vet, through the BIA agency, paid the lady to do that, which was a benefit. I highly recommend that. Now they also provide full service. They could take your dog with, they could fly it if you want to pay the money.
Yeah.
They could do all of it, but we didn't need all of that.
Oh yeah.
So
Because you got a smart wife.
So we paid that money and we got to Manila. So we got on the plane in Cebu. But this is during COVID.
Yeah, tell them how. Yeah, they trying to expect that. Said there's something on it, so they look at on the crate and that's it. But they don't swab. So yeah, so the dogs fly
to Manila.
The same thing. So we wait and I got to see my dog from landing on Cebu to Manila because I need to do the X-ray. So yeah, I checked their then there's no like poo or pee area there for the dog.
Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're traveling with animals, some airports are pet friendly, but most are not.
Yeah.
So it's just tough shit.
So I tried to tell my dog to pee on the bathroom because nobody there, then they don't like because there's no grass. So it's hard.
But when we got to Manila, what happened?
That's what happened, right, in Manila.
I know, we get off the plane
and
our dogs are there with us.
Yeah, so you're going to x-ray the dog again with their luggage. You pick your luggage and you see your dog and pick my dog out of the luggage circle.
Carousel.
Yeah, carousel. And
then we move over to U.S.
and
Customs.
The custom here, and they just like, oh, did you feed your dog? Is that going to be by? No, so yeah, is that all the paperwork? And she's even looking at it because the crate is big. They think it's a big dog, but our dog is longer. So yeah, and they just like, okay, just making sure that you feed that dog because nobody gonna touch your dog
for 13 hours
after this. So like, oh, that's really bad. So I let my dog drink, and like, oh, it's broken hearted because for layover like 16 hours.
Yeah, but the vet told us, look, when they're in the kennel and they're flying, they're not going to eat much anyway. So I wasn't too stressed about that. So we get there, we get the dog.
Yeah, and they don't even dog, and they're so happy. So I let them run a little bit. Then the caretaker said that they're very quiet until they see us. So yeah, here's the good thing is when we arrive in the Los Angeles, it's direct flight, right, from Manila to Los Angeles. Because remember, it's always the least 13 days possible hours that they allow the dog can fly straight on the plane.
Right.
So yeah, Manila to Los Angeles, we don't direct here because we need the paperwork from Los Angeles. Go to the Arkansas, and we don't have those. So what we did is just to fly from Manila to.
Let's back up a tiny bit because I want to clarify. In Manila, off of the Cebu flight, we get our dogs. We go over to where we're going to get on the plane to go to Los Angeles. So we have to go through U.S. Customs there. They didn't do a super exam or anything. They did swab the kennels for drugs.
Yeah, they look at
other than that, and they looked at the paperwork, and that was pretty much it. Now after we gave them the dog and they took them away, we did go through another 4 or 5 checkpoints.
Yeah, they accept the card, by the way, on paying the dogs on the airline.
Right. So dogs are on the PAL Air going to LA. And then now we land in LA. What happens?
And that one I got cheap on that one, right? Because I only paid one time. Not every plane. Yeah, and there's a mountain inspiration. Hi. And yeah, so we saw our dog. We tried to feed it because nobody will feed it under the plane.
Everybody say hi and be friends in the chat with her.
So yeah, we arrived in finally
Los Angeles.
in the Los Angeles. And imagine the waiting time layover plus on the airport. So the dogs will be 16 hours total that you cannot see your dog. Then yeah, we went to the custom and get all this organized, and they look at you like you got a dog. Why you bringing the dog like this that? So and when I told them, it's a American dog, like everything gets smooth.
Yeah, so we get off the plane in LA, and what happens is you go through the normal bull crap without pets, and you got to wait, and they check everything, and they make sure that you are who you are or whatever it is. So we don't see the dogs until the very, very end when we're ready to leave the airport.
Yeah, where you get your luggage.
That's right.
And they will bring it to you after. So I was like looking at my luggage. Then there's a Filipino guy there was helping with us, and just making sure that, hey, you see my dogs, and said no, somebody will bring it here.
Yes.
So they said my dogs are very quiet until finally when I told to the guy, instructed him like, oh yeah, that one, and my dog hear my voice and they're noisy. They think it's funny because it's like, oh, they're very quiet. When they hear my voice, they're like starting barking.
So the key to remember about this is you don't need to get a utility cart to drag your dogs around at any of the airports. Because in the beginning, I was thinking, oh, hell, how are we going to manage all the luggage and the kennels and everything and get the dogs from point A to point B in the airports? You don't have to worry about that. They take them from you and you pick them up at the very, very end when you're ready to be out of the airport.
Yeah.
At all the airports. So that's the way that works, which is good.
And they said like, oh, since you're the owner of this dog. So yeah, they don't really like ask me, because when they see me like, oh yeah, that's our pet dog. Said, yeah, they're American dog. Said they look at it, the caretaker then tell like somebody told us to go to the custom, but unfortunately it's a pet, so we just passed the custom.
In
Remember?
LA? No, we went through.
No. When we arrived, they already checked the dog before they see us.
Yes.
Because they already did their thing, but after we see our dog, they said like, oh, you need to go to that certain area to check the dogs, but that's not, because the only dog will go there are like for sale dog, for breeding.
Yeah.
Say for adoption.
They have a different category.
Yeah, but us, like they said, oh, this is a pet dog, so they just pass us there. After they give us a dog, we don't do any custom at all. So we just going out to the LA.
Yeah. We didn't even show any paperwork about the dogs when we were done completely, ready to. We went through and they
that's the easiest one.
Yeah, they scanned our passports. We sat in line.
Yeah, it shows in your passport that you have bringing a dog.
And they did all their normal stuff, but then they moved us to another place. We go to get our bags. After our bags, our dogs are there, and we just go and pick up the dogs.
Because the custom went to us and asked like, oh, where's your passport? And they do one by one, because David did in the like a special.
Yeah, they checked everybody's passport.
Yeah, and they look at it like, oh, you got a dog? Like, yeah. And said, oh, that's my pet. We're going back in America. And that's make it easy. So
that was it.
Yeah. And
but nobody on the other end even said anything about they didn't verify anything. We just grabbed the dogs and left.
Because it's on the record already that we have a dog with us.
But somebody could have verified it again. We could have stole somebody's dog.
No, that there's a two lady there, right? They said our dog was so quiet. They're standing up when they see us, like, and they said, well, I think I don't need your identification because you're the only one they bark and it's your dog.
Yeah, but we could have stolen the dog.
Then they give them like, no, you cannot steal the dog, because they just like wiggle and so happy to see me. So it's like, oh, it looked like you're the owner. Like, yeah, and they just give it to us. Then we went out to to the airport without checking or showing anything.
And just to tell you what we chose to do is we chose to drive from Los Angeles back to
because you know why? Because we booked that load and we flew it on the next day, right? So if you in America, you need to find a plane that will do the cargo that going on the permits. So we don't have a choice.
So what we had to do, guys, and this is important, if we would have landed in LA from the Philippines and wanted to catch another plane out of California to anywhere else in the United States, I would have to stay in California,
And get a
go
permit.
take the dogs to the local vet and get a permit, a new veterinary permit from California saying the dogs are healthy enough to fly back to Arkansas or New York or wherever you're going to go.
Yeah.
So that would cost you a day or two. Plus the timing of booking a plane that would take the dogs.
Yeah, and an expedite ticket, that's expensive. So we already planned that when I told David, no, we're not going to book. We need to drive. Like, oh, you can drive that one? No, we need to drive because I don't want to get messed. We need to go home and our dogs. So they're doing fine. They're really good, right?
Yeah, and luckily though, the $750, the 350 each dog from California that would have cost us from California back to XNA paid for the rental van.
Yeah. And they're doing well. We stopped in everything and they went out in the canal. There's noisy.
Yeah, so we didn't have much issues with them traveling.
Uh-huh.
But the real key to this is you got to think about every step of the way, write everything down, become very knowledgeable, and be patient and put it in practice, and understand there's a huge timing factor to everything.
Yeah.
So you learned a lot for the return trip then.
We learned a lot. Yeah, we returning was
more expensive.
Was more difficult because of getting paperwork completed in the Philippines. It was difficult in the U.S. because of the timing. You know, that was the difficult part in the U.S.
But you knew a lot. You knew a hell of a lot more than you did before you left.
I guess all my connections there, and I told David just to be quiet because it's really hard. And David's very supportive. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna pay like this. Yeah, like
I'd have lost my mind over that.
Yeah, and booking the load.
So it wasn't.
And David is really good. Like, oh, how much is good there? Oh, I'll just give you this one. You're
just pay the damn money. Get it
David is the one or the sweet person. They're like, so how you can assure that you will get a dog? I'm like, oh, this one, sir. Okay, so is this enough for you or whatever?
Well, it's no use arguing and fighting over a few pesos. Just get the shit done and over with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, David, do all the. I told David, just look at all the paper dog. We need that one that I'm doing on the phone. Like, I mean, we did really great. Like, So David is the one who's. I told him to set up all this paperwork. This is what I need. I gave him a list, and he just looking on it. We're almost lost the permit.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so I will need to print out in my email because David like fuck, Laura. Sorry, we can get home on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, but it's a really mess. I mean, I will not do that no more.
So if anybody has serious questions about that or needs help with it, we will answer any questions we can to help you guys. We've done this a bunch already for some folks, but now that things are opening up more, travel's becoming more common, the COVID crap is ending. I'm sure there's going to be more and more folks wanting to do this.
It's more. So it sounds fine, but it's really exhausted, especially when it's not because you can afford the money on booking on it. It's just like how you book. I mean, for people that can afford it, we don't have a choice.
Thousands.
So, but yeah, you're booking like you're really in a tight space that you don't have nothing to do, or else you're gonna lose everything whatsoever. So,
I do think one thing that we've learned, the most important tip I'll tell you that I think we've learned is the practice of calling 3 times.
Yeah, even in America, it's the same thing.
Especially in America and in the Philippines. In the Philippines, it may be 20 times. But in
the Philippine Airlines, they have the same from here. Philippines, they're good question. But from local in the Philippines, I mean, it's worse. But American Airlines have different answer as well. Like every day I'm calling.
And so what we had to do was call repeatedly, get different people and give us an answer. And then
if you have 3 times answers right, then that's
right. And then I would have to ask them, please explain your answer. So I need to know where you're coming from, why you're telling me this. Because then I could figure out what they meant. because a lot of times they were just regurgitating something they heard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I help my aunt too when they're bringing their dogs from Germany to the
Mhm.
Philippines
Yeah, we're like
because
that paper.
the
Yeah.
buy go is really hard. It's kind of easy, but it's always like rejected, rejected for some reason. It will not
Yeah.
work.
But without the government permit into the Philippines from the BIA,
Yeah, she almost missed that one.
you can't get it done.
Yeah.
You can't get. They're not going to let your dog in the
Yeah,
country.
you
They're
need
not
to
going to let your dog
register
on a
that.
flight.
You need to register that one before buying a ticket of your dog.
Yes.
Because they said you can get a permit. No, you must to show that on even wherever your country you are, they will asking that one. If you have a permit going to the Philippines, I will let you fly.
And I know that there's a few videos out
Even
there.
that's Germany, right? They
Yeah.
ask them to.
There's a few videos out there of people saying, "Look, when it comes to the Philippines, just give them a little money and they'll take care of it."
No.
No, not when it comes to this.
Yeah, before you leave on your country, they will ask you the permit for the dog.
You're not going to be able to just bribe them and they just fill out and kind of give you a waiver. It's not going to happen.
When you
gotta
arrive in the
have it.
Philippines, maybe, but living out of your country, you cannot.
Right.
You cannot leave your dog.
So you can hustle Philippine Airlines in America and go, look, just make it, I'll give you, $100. It ain't going to happen. So maybe in the Philippines, but
When you arrive in the Philippines, they ask you. They remember I sent to my aunt the permit because they cannot leave. They cannot get out their dog. It must be quarantined. So
that's what we did.
yeah, just making sure you do that website, the www.bai.gov or gov.ph.
Yeah, the Philippine website, Philippine government website.
Yeah, you need to register their name before you put your dogs there, and they will put it by breed or by pieces.
John says she's a gem and a honey and a germ and a honey. A germ, a germ, and a honey.
Who's specify who's she?
The dog or the wife? John can see. Everybody say hi to John. He's in Bakersfield. See, John's in that state that causes all the problems.
So that's really hard. I don't recommend somebody, but yeah.
So that's what we did. So that's our synopsis of the
Yeah, we
journey.
did this because our dogs are our life. They did a lot of nice things to us, especially when David was in coma and all those things. That's why, yeah, we paid everything for our dog because they look for us and their family.
And they're bilingual.
They're trilingual.
No, they only know like word ayo, right? Like ayo.
No.
But that kids that know how to speak English, they're talking English, so my dogs have a playmate. But other dog, they're just like looking at other dog. They're not barking at other dog because they don't understand what other dog's saying, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But there's a German, what's that? There's an American dog there that they're trying to get.
Yeah, a Doberman picture.
Yeah, because they speak English, I guess.
Yeah,
Apparently, my American dog we don't understand the bark of the Filipino dogs.
No.
Yeah, it is true, right? They doesn't care when they bark; they're just looking at it.
They understand how to kill those damn Filipino rats, though.
Yeah, but there's another dog that is
And,
what is that? The big dog?
The,
That's a foreigner.
the Doberman picture.
The Norwegian, they speak English because the owner is a English American. So every time that dog bark, my dog will go crazy because they understand the language, I guess.
Dogs goes and sends them to. Yeah, I got a video of Lily, a red one, trying to get the ghost out of the back of the refrigerator in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there was
Maybe it was just the ants.
No. Oh yeah, the old house.
Yeah, that's
The dead
scary.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first house we rented in the Philippines had a dead guy in it.
Yeah, there's a scary because my dog is really trying to whir like I'm in the living room. No, I'm in the what's this in our bedroom laying because it's early morning and my Lily trying to like lay on me but like looking on the closet like there's a person there trying to like standing person because she's trying to like who's she talking there like I'm just trying to pretend that I don't see it.
Hey, John.
Good to see ya.
So Yank, have you bought your ticket yet?
I did.
Oh, you're going to the Philippines when?
April 4th.
Wow.
Congrats.
Qatar Airlines, my favorite.
Good.
Where?
Qatar.
Oh, there's a big one too. Huh?
I got 8.5 hour layover in Doha, but I could have went with A&A, but it's
You
4 hour layovers, but they want 900 and
so from your state, where you going?
huh?
From your state, where you are you flying from? What stop to stop?
I'm going up from here to Chicago and then from Chicago to Dubai and Dubai to Manila.
Ah, I see.
Hey Tony, that's the exact date the very first time I ever went there, April
Yeah,
4th.
Wow.
Yep.
I was gonna pick you up, but I saved myself like $150. So I thought, well, they're worth the extra 4.5 hour layover because I know that airline. So
So, do you mind saying what you got? Is you sure it's a round trip?
mine's a one way, man.
Yeah. What did it cost you, if you don't mind?
Oh, one way. What did it cost me? It was 9. I bought us other extra shit that goes with it.
Yeah, insurance is
I think
good.
it was 755 without all the other stuff. So
What
nine
What do you
nine.
mean by other stuff?
Well, and you get the schedule,
No, we don't
all
have
this
those.
other couple other those services they got.
Dang, where you get your ticket? Because ours is almost like 1,500 every time per person.
Yeah. And then I picked, well, mine cost a little more too because I picked a premium economy, not coach, but they let me select the seats this time.
Mhm.
And where I selected the seats, that isn't the leg space seats. They're the coach ones near the back.
And
So
22 years ago, Tony, my round trip was $8.99.
eight
Yeah.
ninety nine, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
they
was
charge a
22
little bit.
years ago.
You would think it would be half, but it's
It's
a little
a,
more than half price.
if
For
it's a
one.
long layover, that would be cheaper and more stuff.
Well, it was a pain in the ass on the way back here because I sat there for 9 hours and 20 minutes. Boy, oh
I did
shit.
that my first trip to the Philippines.
31 hours.
I had a layover in Korea that was like
9
8
hours. 9 hours.
Yeah,
in Korea.
they had a lot of nice ones, and then they had 17-hour layover in Seoul.
But that's
Oh,
December. It's all
that.
expensive.
Yeah.
Hi,
David,
John.
9 hours.
Hey, John.
John, do you have your garden
So no,
garden what do you call it, shade thing up yet in your backyard?
I got my same hotel as last time. I decided to spend 3 days there.
So
Three
you're doing
nights.
a spouse visa or or what kind of visa?
No, I just a tourist one this time. Doesn't matter as long as I can get in. Last time I had to get a 9A.
Yeah.
It just keeps me from paying them for 59 days instead of 29.
Hmm.
As long as I get there, I could give a shit, what it cost.
Yeah, that'll be good if you meet your wife in Singapore, then you arrive
Uh,
in the Philippines, then you book a
I,
balikbayan.
I got a throwaway ticket for $55 to Hong Kong from Manila.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got
So
already on.
when I,
They won't let
when
you.
after I've been there a while, I'll be going here and there in Asia there.
Yeah, then you can come back.
Yeah, if you meet your wife in Singapore or whatever closer to Philippines, then they go to arrive in the Philippines. Do you have a balikbayan for 1 year?
Yeah, but what he's going to
Yeah,
do,
that would cost me too much for
what
that.
he's going to do
Yeah.
after he gets there a while, they're going to go somewhere, then come back, and they'll be able to do that or get the 13A.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
come back for my son's wedding next year, and then that's it. I don't plan on coming back. I still have my health insurance, but you know,
Yeah.
over there is going to cost me $400 or $500 a month. So
So how many luggage you're bringing?
just only allowed one checked and one carry-on because domestic flights. That's all they'll do. You can't have two checked.
Yeah, you pay $35 extra.
Yeah,
Well,
You got to
I
carry it on a one and for
Yeah, 35 per load per luggage.
yeah.
yeah, but it's enough for me. I don't want to, I didn't even want to take this second one, but I didn't think
You're not
I
taking
didn't.
a bunch of pickled herring back with you?
Nah.
Like
Mention it. I should go get some. I should have got some.
pickled herring. It's a fish.
It's expensive here. I like it in a wine sauce. So.
You know. So that's funny.
So, what's that, Kiko? Are you planning to go vacation anytime soon in the Philippines?
He's probably back on the toilet.
Probably talking to his wife, going, "Look at these funny people."
So you're excited? What's this, Tony?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I see your boy, huh?
Yeah,
So your boy still good speaking English?
yeah. He speaks both. Yeah. Well, they don't talk English to each other over there. You know.
Yeah, but you
But
can.
he used to get on when we had a thing on the computer here,
Uh,
and I
yeah.
start talking to him. He starts talking to me like Messiah. I said, I don't know what you're saying
Yeah.
because everybody's laughing.
No,
How
no,
old is your boy?
He's 7. He'll be 8 April 17th.
Really, yeah.
no habla Bisaya.
My boy's got it. He's gonna have it good.
No habla Bisaya.
No
That's
habla, yeah.
so everyone is excited that you're finally home.
Yeah, I don't. I'll find out when I get there.
Well, he's the rich American come to save everybody.
I
Yeah.
only want to have to come back that one time, but it's my last.
Well, do all the beer every day there.
My little guy won't be getting married for quite a long time, so
There. Your life will be really good when you're back there, right? When you?
yeah, I hated to even have to come back for this here, but
Yeah,
we're good.
I mean that's really good.
So, what part of the U.S. does your son live in?
Right here with by me. He lives
Okay.
in he's in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Now that's one of the cities around Milwaukee.
I didn't know if he was down in Texas or something.
No. My oldest daughter's back, and my oldest daughter and the number 2 one, they left from here down there when they were like 5 and 3. They left Wisconsin, went to Texas, then California, and now one of them's in Florida, and the oldest one's down in Dallas.
Okay. Because I know you said something about maybe visiting the baby before
Yeah,
you
that's
leave.
Yeah, I thought about that, man, but I'm just
what you first you want to eat in the Philippines?
what do I want to eat there?
Yeah, first you would like to eat
Right.
Kinilaw.
Kenya.
Kinilaw.
Oh, Kenya. Oh, really? The fish?
Yeah.
No, it's the
Well,
like.
baby ones. They're not healthy for you though, but
No, it's good. It's a fresh like a
hey,
tuna.
Budloy, well, I found all I got to do is find a place that has a store that has mustard, preferably brown mustard or horseradish. Then I can eat any kind of fish they got.
Well,
Plus, it's good for your heart. So
then you're
Put,
just eating the
put,
mustard.
put that you're in your luggage. Mustard.
Get some
yeah. Well, I got. I'm gonna ship some in my balikbayan boxes.
Yeah, that would be good. I
Yeah.
always tell you the balikbayan because
I
it's
shipped
way cheap.
my extra virgin olive oil down there too, but you
Yeah,
can't get the one I want. The ones down there burn my throat, and my lining is I got Barrett's esophagus, so I can't
yeah,
afford to
Mhm.
do that. But
yeah.
that helps with the stomach and everything, and getting
Yeah,
it
we
cut.
don't know when we're gonna go back. It's too far. It's too hard.
Hey, leave your dogs. Can't you put your dogs in a little hotel while you're gone?
No,
Yeah.
I mean from airport to like airport to airport is a lot of work.
Well,
Walking.
I got my back is crap. It hurt. Oh my god!
It's
It
really, I mean,
it
waiting
just
there
makes
so long,
it
sitting.
makes me feel like I can barely take that.
Yeah, I don't know why people going back to the Philippines every year. Like, I don't know how they survive on that airport.
I'm not. Once my son's done with that wedding there, then that's next October, so or September or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that won't be too bad.
I'll come back here for less than a week,
He
and
will
if
be a
I
big dog in the Philippines, huh?
and I'll see how I feel about chucking the healthcare I got here, but it's healthcare insurance, so it's not costing me an arm and a leg for it. So
You will
my,
hire you will hire a personal yaya in the Philippines.
yeah,
He has a wife.
Oh, jeez.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You know what that is?
Yaya, you don't know what's yaya?
I heard of it.
That's what your wife
You
is.
don't hear that?
A personal maid.
Uh,
That's
I haven't been able to settle down long enough to.
Yeah, yaya is just like your maid that you
Well, I
pay
ain't calling my wife a maid. Jesus.
do the cleaning, washing your clothes,
the
I
cooking,
cooking.
the foot rubbing,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, when I went to the Philippines, I do a
Right.
massage and David don't want the massage.
I think with the taxes and all the shit I added to it. Oh yeah, I still got to get my ticket from Manila to Butuan.
Yeah.
But it was like nine something with all that other stuff.
Yeah, 13.
Did you already set his bank where he can get his
Yeah,
money?
he's good.
Oh,
He's good.
What's that?
I'm just asking if you already set where you will get your US
Money.
money to the Philippines.
Oh, I got other. I'll leave my bank here. I like the bank I got here. I
That's
don't.
what I did. I just transfer it to my Philippine bank.
Yeah,
Money, transfer it, and I'll get it.
my son sends it Western Union. I got, and then MoneyGram I got.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
good
what,
enough.
yeah.
That's good enough.
So yeah, that's what we did. We just transfer money there like every 15 days.
Well, the problem with me with Western Union was I was sending it to my wife's postal ID had her maiden name on it. So one time when I was over there, I went to send her money from my phone, and Western Union said they denied it. And they said that we noticed your phone's in the Philippines. I said, so what? I said that's where I am. That's where we live. Well, the problem was because our last names didn't match anymore. Her last name, maiden name was Marina, so they said, "Well, your last name is this, and that one's different." So I have since uh, gotten all that straightened out, but yet when I call them up, they hang up on me.
They tell you that
So,
Mm.
so as soon as I got to
Gee,
transfer me,
Tony, I can't
transfer
imagine
around,
that.
so fuck 'em. So I got MoneyGram from me though, so I can get money. My son can access and send her because Western Union over there in Butuan is very easy. It's never crowded. It's you see these people standing by the bank at an hour before it opens. There's 50 people or better waiting for the bank to open. That's not my idea of
Fun.
spending my day. Yeah. So
Hintay for pera, huh?
what's that?
You're hintay for pera.
He's gonna be-
Waiting for money.
Uh,
Kiko, you're
Oh,
you're planning to go in the Philippines anytime soon?
balang araw.
Balang araw sa-
Maybe summer.
This summer?
Well, it's my wife's 50th birthday summer,
Oh,
and she would like to
50.
go back.
wow.
Yeah, you should.
Well,
And
I'm sure I'll see you.
and our 15-year-old daughter wants to go because she's never been there. So
Oh, that's a big.
maybe. And if we go, it'd have to be summer because school's out, that time.
Okay.
So maybe that's thousands of dollars, as you know.
Tony will pay for it for you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my
How are you?
great uncle Tony.
Shit. I didn't think I thought I was gonna get back what I got back last year, but Sleepy Joe's been spending so much money, they took away that child care credit shit.
Yeah, they lowered it. It used to, I think Last year it was 3,000 per child. Now
Yeah,
it's
it was.
2,000.
I got around 4,000 last year. This year I get 1,200.
200.
How much?
And
That's
I,
right. You can claim Mateo, right?
yeah, well,
He's
yeah,
the
but
only one
that
left.
that's with having him.
That's like me. Our 15-year-old.
Well, I wonder
She's the
if he
only one
did
young
that.
enough to claim anymore. So,
Well, that guy's got all he's got all our information in the thing. I've seen him a
but
couple times now.
see,
But
when I retired, I didn't. They've taken out very little in federal taxes, and so I'll probably owe this year a little bit, but that'll be the
I'm
first time in my life.
well, I went and I upped mine a little 10%. But my son, my oldest son here, I told him I'd give him the money like I gave my daughter when she got married, and so that'll eat up all but after about a little less than $200 for me.
Yeah, like we still got to work on our taxes, but I'll
But
probably owe my local state a little bit of money, but
I
probably
look at it like this: I can take that 150 or whatever I get and buy some pesos with it.
Yeah, our state here, Pennsylvania, doesn't take state taxes out,
I'm gonna.
No,
so
well,
it's only federal for me, not federal tax.
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna bye because I'm gonna need to talk to my.
because I get 400. I get
Okay.
400 state and
Bye
800
bye.
federal.
Ingat.
But
Uh,
I'm gonna go now myself.
Yeah, it's about that time. I'm a little tired, so
I'm
Okay, are you
watching
cooking
my
tonight, David, or?
my
no,
freezer.
I'm actually kind of really tired. I've been kind of wore out the last couple of days for some reason. Kind of feel like I'm on low drag. So I'll probably just have a sandwich and call it quits.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with my heart condition, I just kind of
I'll see you guys Friday.
okay. You
Okay.
go back
Missed
on
you last
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, I'll be on here Friday.
We'll see everybody Friday. Take
Hey,
care.
take it easy in that snow,
Hey
Tony.
guys, have a good
All right.
night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.